friends, I'm Monica with Last Chance Goods and Services, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own simple cheese using just 2 ingredients. Now, I have access to cow's milk, but many of you do not. So I did not buy this from a dairy. I got this from a regular store. This is regular cow's milk purchased at a general store. This is about a half a gallon. This is my homemade vinegar, homemade apple cider vinegar. You can use any acid, but vinegar is ready for me right now. Smell it. Smells great. You will need a half a cup of homemade apple cider vinegar for every. You will need a half a cup of homemade apple cider vinegar for every half gallon of milk. It is important if you want. You can use any milk you want. I prefer whole milk, but you can use skim, 2%, 1%. This has to come from a cow, though. Now, what I'm going to tell you is very important. You must eat this cheese within 3 days or it will go bad. The cheeses that you buy at the store, they have been processed and they have had preservatives added to them so that they will last longer. This process cooks all of that out and you are left with a very pure, very simple cheese. The closest taste is like mozzarella. Finally, I prefer using cast iron. The cast iron will affect the color of the cheese, but not by much, and I find that the iron is important. So spray the cast iron with your cooking spray. You're going to want to turn your heat up to about a medium or a medium high. And then you add your milk. This will happen very quickly. You want to wait until your temperature reaches 110 degrees. If you don't have a thermometer, stick your finger in. Your body's temperature is naturally 98.6 degrees. When it feels like a very hot, very warm, nice, very relaxing bath, so between 105 and 110 degrees, then you're going to add your half a cup of vinegar. You should still be able to put your finger inside the milk, but it will not be boiling. So I will turn off the camera and I'll come back when the temperature is right. Here you see I have my half a gallon of milk and the temperature is about on an 8 out of 10 and it's pretty hot. It's about a warm bath. Here is my vinegar and you should see it start to coalesce basically immediately. Yeah, you can see it bubble up a little bit. And you'll see the cheese start to form basically immediately. There you see it. It'll separate. The liquid part is whey and the solid part is cheese. And you see it form now. And the cheese will clump together. Save the whey. This is very good when you're making soup. This is one type of whey. There's another type that happens when you make yogurt. Save the whey for when you're making soup. It's wonderful as a substitute for bouillon. And see, you see the cheese start to form immediately. This is the curds and whey part. Here are the curds. And the liquid is the whey. So whenever little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey, she was eating this. Do you see? I added about a cup of vinegar, but you can add a little bit less. Half a cup is okay. The next step is to strain out the whey. Keep it, freeze it, use it for soup, and the cheese will be hot, so be careful when you touch it. This is a bowl, simple bowl with a colander, and then inside I put an old linen apron. Now you just strain out the curds. What's left is one of the simplest cheeses around. You can use a cheesecloth for this, hence the term cheesecloth. You can use an old t-shirt, or you can use a flour cloth. It's very hot, so be careful. And there you see is the start of your cheese. Come back in a minute. I'll come back in a minute. There you see is the start of your cheese. I'll come back in a minute once it's strained away, and I'll show you what to do next. I shook it out a little bit because there was a little more vinegar, a little more whey than I thought there would be. But this is the start of the cheese. To make the cheese now, you're going to take the ends of the cloth together and you're going to spin them. You want to get out as much of the whey as you can. And this can be hot. This can be very hot, unfortunately. A lot of people will do this with gloves. I recommend that if you are not accustomed to doing this, please wear gloves. And do not wear plastic gloves, wear something higher than that. And there you should be able to see the start of the cheese. Right there. And wait, come back a few minutes and do this, repeat the process. I've been gone for a few minutes. I did strain out a bunch of the cheese. I did strain out a bunch of the whey. And then to make the cheese, you take out the cloth and you're going to spin it. Twist the top. This is hot, so if you are not accustomed to this, I recommend that you wear gloves. And just keep spinning it. You want to strain out as much of the whey as you can. And when you do, you'll see that the cheese has started to form. It's right there. This is delicious cheese, but you must eat it within 3 days. And come back every few minutes to repeat the process. You're going to repeat this process until the cheese becomes solid. And I'm back for one final squeezing of the cheese. It's been a couple minutes. Cheese is a lot cooler now. Squeeze it. Get as much of the whey out as you can. get it as close to a solid form as you can. No way. And see? There's your cheese. Mold this now, shape it. I personally like it on bread or just as is. Thank you very much. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons and have a great day. God bless you.